Hey there, Cloud here, and welcome to a speed build that I'm doing for a restaurant. I named it the Highwind restaurant. I don't really know why. I was thinking of Final Fantasy VII at the time, and Highwind kind of popped up in my head, so that's how the name came up. But this restaurant, I decided to build it for the Disney Princess Challenge because I didn't really like the restaurant that the Sims team built. I mean, it's a lovely restaurant, don't get me wrong, but the chef be like they sneaky. They be trying to like poison Snow or whatever, and I'm not about to let her die from like food poisoning or whatever. Okay, so we're building a new restaurant, trying to get away from that. As you can see here, I'm putting down the layout. I got a whatchamacallit, I got inspiration from a layout from an actual restaurant that I looked up on Google, and it doesn't translate well in The Sims, so I decided to change it a little bit. So far it's looking like this. It's kind of weird in my opinion, but I'm glad that it changes like as as time goes on. So we don't have to worry about it too much. So right now, I'm just placing in the ooh. I'm I'm just trying to figure out like the main seating area where everyone's gonna be seated. I decided to put in a stage as well because the stage looked nice. I thought the idea of having a live band while you're eating seemed kind of quaint and like nice and homely. Because the original idea for this restaurant was gonna be like very plant lovery, like full of like live instrumentals. It's gonna be like very natural and all that stuff. No, it kind of deviates from that, and it's not that great. But I tried to bring some of it back in that original idea, but who knows if it turned out well. You'll see at the end, and just let me know down in the comments if you think it turned out well or not. I don't think it turned out well. There's a lot of like different like styles clashing with one another. And I'm not really like a fan of it, but in the end, the color scheme matches. But right now, I'm just trying to like figure out like what colors I want to use. I definitely wanted to use that like lighter tone for the woods, for like the accent colors, but the darker woods, I felt like it would end up whatchamacallit, what's it called? I'm really bad at speaking, so I'm not really good at this, but I felt like the darker tones would help bring out the lighter tones, so that's why I decided to go with that. But as you can see also here, I got confused with the bar tables and the regular tables, and I thought I had the regular tables out, so I was very confused, but that's okay. But looking at this restaurant, I quite enjoyed the layout of it, to be honest. If I'm thinking about the previous restaurants that I've worked in, because I've worked server, I've worked bartender, I've worked host, and then I almost ended up becoming a manager at one point, but I'm not really cut out for the managerial position. Now I can't really speak to people while eater. This is me already speaking and trying very difficulty, trying very hard to say the right words at the right times, but it doesn't always work out. But I do like the layout because it's very straightforward and it's not very like confusing at the same time. Here I'm trying to figure out where the restrooms are going because I didn't really think about it until at this point where I was like, okay, restrooms are gonna end up clashing and making the servers run into them while they're trying to bring out food. So I had to put in this hallway here so that that wouldn't happen. Like realistically, the Sims don't do that. Luckily, the servers kind of just trip on their own feet for whatever reason, and it's kind of weird. But I wanted to think realistically at the same time while I was building this restaurant. So the restrooms here I put gender neutral, I believe. Yes, the doors are definitely gender neutral. I hope. I really hope. But I decided not. There were no urinals, so it didn't really matter which side was which. I just wanted to make one blue one and one like reddish pink one. I really like the reddish pink one, to be honest. It felt a lot warmer, a little more inviting. But I also like the blue color because blue is kind of one of my favorite colors. It's really difficult, especially when the pastels are included. Then I'm all up for the blue and the pinks, to be honest. But Anyway, this front area, it changes a lot. Okay. I at first I didn't know what I was gonna do with this because and then that little gap that you see right I don't know if you can tell, but it's like that little area next to the entrance. I was gonna put a garden in front of it, and I was thinking, oh, it's gonna be cute. But then I decided, no, it's not gonna be cute anymore. So I decided to remove it later on. But I really wanted to use this round bar from the Journey to Batu. Is that what it's called? That pack, the Star Wars pack. I really wanted to use this bar because I really love circular bars. It's the only circular bar we have too, so I really wanted to incorporate it somehow. And it because it's really big compared to all the other like square ones, and it didn't have the weird like archways. Is that what it's called? The little archways that go above them. It didn't have that, and I was like, okay, this is gonna work. So I really wanted to incorporate a space for it. Now, I like as I said, I worked as a bartender, so I was trying to be very realistic with all of this here, like the drinks, the counter bars, and then the space underneath the bars, hopefully, and then a little mini fridge for all like the cold drinks. Usually there would be like two, maybe three mini fridges for that, maybe big fridges even, but I decided to use just one because it's The Sims. They don't really need anything like big or grand or whatever. And I did put the shelves not really aligned. I did that on purpose, and looking back at it now, it's really a poor decision on my part. But it's okay because if you decide to want to download this build for yourself for whatever reason, then you can change it yourself, you know? Just I'll place it. It'll be fine. Okay, but this front entrance, it changes again, as you can see here. It's changed once, and then it's gonna change again later, and then it's gonna change again after that. But I wanted to put a waiting area because the restaurants that I worked in, there was one restaurant where it had like a very small waiting area, maybe like two benches, and that was actually a lot bigger than the other restaurant that I worked in for like almost 3 years. That restaurant had like maybe 5 chairs for the waiting area, and it wasn't even really a waiting area. It was just the front, like it would be in the aisle, like hallway leading to like the main eating areas, and it got in the way so bad. It was terrible, especially when like big groups come in. It was bad. But you see here, I don't know how to roof in general, so roofing a restaurant was very difficult for me, and I was like, how am I gonna do this? So I know for the bar area, like on the bottom right there, I wanted to put a glass window there, like a skylight. Yes, that's the word, skylight. I wanted to put a skylight there because I think it would have been a lot more interesting, and people are drinking, maybe they don't want to like watch TV, they just want to drink, you know, because most of the time on TV, if it's at a bar, it'll be sports. And if it's not sports, it's a drama of sorts or the news. And not everyone wants to watch all of that. It's kind of gloomy. They come to eat and get away from that most of the time. So I put the skylight there. It looked interesting to me. I don't know. But I decided to put like this like large tiered area because I think it looked nice, like having high ceilings for the main eating area and then a skylight as well, because they don't really have a TV also. They only have the band, and let's be real, the band is not going to be playing all the time. So I decided to put that because it would be an interesting view and it looks nicer in my opinion. Now, I realized later that I wanted to put a terrace on top. Terrace? Patio on top, because I don't know. I had the area and I didn't want to just leave it like just ceiling space, so I decided to change it and make it an eating area. It's not really an eating area because I don't know if you can sit there because I put umbrellas on the tables later on. Like instead of using the actual tables that come with the umbrellas, I put umbrellas there instead. So it's probably blocking the way for the Sims to actually eat there. But at least, you know, it's gonna be nice. It should be nice, right? I don't know. But I'm putting the roof here. I mean the roof, the fencing, and then I realized that the fencing doesn't really go next to the roof. I realized that earlier, so I just left it. I can't fix that. Sorry. um, but I'm constantly changing like everything, all the palettes and stuff because I don't really like how it looks. Like here, it looks nice for me. I don't know why I changed it again, but I changed it to something that feels a little more aesthetically pleasing to me. Okay, the cork flooring though, we do change that. Don't worry. Do I change it? I actually don't remember. Well, look. But we're putting the windows here so we can add a little more sunlight, I guess, because not all the time the sun is gonna be rise from above, right? So we're gonna go ahead and like add on so many windows because I love windows. I hate windows at night, but I love windows. But so I added so many windows, and it's a little too much for me in my opinion. But it's not my house; it's a restaurant, so it's totally fine. So as you can see, I'm rearranging everything again at the bottom. I'm putting in the windows. Of course, I'm talking about windows again. But I'm rearranging everything to suit these windows so it looks a little more better. So I do have to move everything around, and then the front, I do change like 2 or 3 more times decoration wise. Luckily, in terms of like building wise, it only changes like one more. Now the kitchen, I had difficulty with the kitchen because I realized I made the kitchen too small and the stoves were way too big to fit in the kitchen. So I had to rearrange the stairwell. And I'm not sure how much I like the idea of the stairwell being in front of the restrooms like that because it kind of blocks the restrooms and it makes it difficult, I suppose. But at the same time, it's easy access for those who are up there while also people down there. Does that make sense? Basically, it's like a medium way for everyone to be able to use the restrooms safely. So, the kitchen. The kitchen does change a little bit, but this is the shape that it's going to stay. I decided to put one of the stoves outside because it fits. I kind of cheated with that because I wanted to put an actual like kitchen for the staff to use. Like if you're playing with this, eventually your sim's gonna get hungry and they can't really use the stove that they gave for the restaurants, so they have to use a separate stove. So I put it that instead, so that your sim could use it. Or my sim. I don't know if I'll be owning this restaurant later on. It's possible. I don't know how it's gonna go. I like the restaurant though, so I'm probably gonna play it with it often. But I'm putting in storage because I'm thinking realistically. Now, unrealistically, there is no walk-in freezer. You would probably be in trouble if you didn't have a walk-in freezer at the very least for your restaurant, and you would definitely have multiple fridges, that's for sure. But I decided to put the storage in place of it because it's similar, it's good enough, right? But I used those items at first because I forgot about the storage items that are actually for like pantries and stuff. And that's why I brought in the pantries, but then they were a lot bigger, and that totally like surprised me. So I didn't really expect it, but I put that board there by the chef's the chef's stove. Yeah, there we go, the chef's stove. Because in the kitchens that I've been into, I've noticed that the chefs don't always know everything on the menu, especially if it's an item that's rarely ordered. So they usually have like the recipes there next to them so that they're basically ready to make it when it's ordered. Now the bar doesn't really change much. The bar will change, will stay like that basically. It just change in wallpaper and change in flooring. The front does change a lot. As you can see here, I'm rearranging the chairs, and I didn't like how the chairs looked because it felt very classroomy or like meeting. Like I'm about to like go into therapy with group therapy. That's the term. And you can see that it's 1 block short, so I decided to make it short or long, excuse me. So I made it shorter so the plants would fit. I am really rearranging these windows, aren't I? But I wanted to make sure everything looks nice. Okay, as you can see, I didn't like the circular look, but then I tried to do it where they're facing each other, and that felt very like clinical, and I didn't want people to feel uncomfortable. I wanted them to feel a little more like, okay, I feel kind of welcome here. So I didn't really achieve that, not gonna lie. But yeah, I really wanted to keep this table at first because I felt like at a host station, you want to have a table big enough to to hold the menus basically. And if not the menus, then to hold like various other things, like if you're scheduling someone or if you want to like keep your items somewhere, your personal items, like if you're like your purse, your backpack, or like if you have candy for the customers, you want to have backup in case you run out, and you don't want to go searching, running for it. So I was thinking like something like that, or like even a lost and found. That's something you want to have just in case. Now that wall paneling does not stay. Don't worry about that. It's right on cue. But also I also decided to delete that white like waterfall looking thing. And as you can see, I'm also trying out various like wallpapers and wall designs and all that stuff because I wasn't really fond of it. It felt like I am very picky actually. So I was constantly like testing and making sure it didn't work. I can't really speak, but you can see that I've changed the walls outside first, and then I decided to make it a little warmer on the inside. And then I decided, never mind, I'm just gonna use all brick inside, which makes absolutely no sense, but at the same time I suppose it does. So I don't know, man. But I decided to go with this brick because I like the feel of it, and it made me feel like, okay, this is kind of more like those cafe kind of vibes. It's not really cafe, I suppose, but it made me feel like I was in Starbucks. I don't know. I've been in like a few Well, I've only been in one, and the Starbucks I went to had brick. So I kind of liked it. I don't know why I'm talking about Starbucks. Oh, I really want Starbucks now. Anyway, we're going to continue forward. So back to the host station. I decided to make the host station a little bit bigger. Well, it's not really bigger, but I decided to add shelves onto that wall later on. But here I'm adding a little bit of storage because, again, you want to have something where you can put your menus. You want to put your lost and found. Do you have drink menus? Do you have regular eating menus? Do you have dessert menus? It's a lot of menus, and you have to have at least 50 per 50 per menu. So it's gonna be a lot of menus basically. And then again, all your stuff where you want to put it somewhere, you don't want to put it somewhere. I don't know, man. But as you can see, I am changing that cork again. I didn't like the cork. I decided to change it to that white, and I'm kind of regretting my choice, but it's staying. It's already done. But I decided to put shelves here because I wanted to put items there, and I didn't want to keep raising items up to make it look like it was a shelf. So I decided to just like do it the hard way and put shelves there. And do I regret it? No, no. It looks nice. I think it looks nice. Uh, but I probably could have just kept raising the items up there so that I didn't have to do all that work. But I think it turned out nice. So I'm just finding a bunch of clutter so that it'll look a little more like, okay, it's more friendly, it's more nice looking. I think I wanted to add in more plants also so that I could bring back that original idea of wanting it to be very like plant-like, very home to plants, all that stuff. I just really like plants, but I'm really bad at taking care of them, so I like the fake plants. But here I'm putting a divider between the host station and the seating area for the people because I felt like hosts in general need like little like separator. And I decided to put in these chairs because it does get tiring standing there for hours on end. I'm gonna be honest. Like, eventually you get used to it, but I if I'm working all day, I want to sit. Okay. Because if I recall, when I used to work like full shifts, I would only get maybe 30 minutes to eat, and then it's back to work. If it's slow, I get an hour break, which is pretty neat. But I end up staying anyway because I don't have anything else to do. There's no point of me leaving, to be honest. So I just stayed and continued to work, and I kind of got extra money for that. So, oh well. So I wanted to put a menu at the front originally because I know that some places have their menus like displayed up front, they and then some people usually go order to go, and then they have the menu there so they can just see it, and it's something like usually like the special, something that's popular, all that stuff. But it didn't fit, or it kind of just floated there, so I added these instead. And I did get rid of the table, as you saw, and I decided to put an island instead because it looked like it had storage space, and I liked the idea of the storage space there. So I decided to keep that. And then I changed the stools colors. It probably could have stayed black, but I wanted it to feel more earthy. Not that it really did much, to be honest. But it ended up changing, and I like the color scheme, to be honest. Now the stage. I decided to, yes, I removed the curtains. And as you can see, I had a little bit of trouble with these curtains. They're also not really going the same way. So, that's not changing either. I'm sorry. But, oh gosh, they're not even aligned. Okay. So I added all these instruments because I don't know who's going to be playing up here. Maybe a pianist and a violinist, or a guitar and a piano. I don't know. Vocalist. Either way. So I made the stage also shorter because I didn't want people to feel like they had to like scoot around areas in order to fit through to get to the stage. So I wanted it to feel a little bit bigger. So the top area, as you can see, I am definitely not going to be working on it right then. So we're going to go back down, and we're putting all these clutter around. I didn't really know how to decorate restaurants, to be honest, because the restaurant that I worked in, like the 2 or 3, was it 2 or 3? I worked in 4 actually. Okay. So the restaurants, they all had like the paintings already like on the walls. Like the walls would be painted themselves. Like there would be a geisha here, and then a pretty village around here, and then more geishas here, and then like a scary looking samurai looking down, and you're like, and then, but that was all painted on. And you can't really do that in The Sims. You could have interesting walls, but you can't really have like paintings unless you count the cat like tile mural. But I'm not about to put that in the eating area. That's gonna look a little weird, and it won't really fit the vibe I'm trying to go for. Which, to be fair, I don't really know what vibe I was going for at this point. It just kind of happens. So I don't know, man. But I'm putting in whatever I think would fit in a restaurant. I think this all looks nice, right? And then here I deleted all the all the placeholder lights so I could see what was going on. And I decided, okay, I think I'm done basically decorating the inside. So I decided to put all these like nicer looking lower laying lights. The ones in the middle and the ones on the left right now, I deleted later, but it's not in the video. I'll show you afterwards. And then also I put those curtains in the back because usually there's curtains behind like the performers, and usually it would lead like to the backstage where all the performers are getting ready, where everything is being held like storage wise and all that stuff. But this restaurant doesn't really have a back storage area for the stage. So I'm sorry, performers. I was in orchestra before, so I know how it is. So if there's no backstage, it can be difficult. But it's fine. It's easy to get over it, so it's fine. But right now we're decorating the front. I don't really know how fronts look, because the restaurants I worked in, they usually have like, they're usually like next to other buildings that are like basically connected to it. Like they would be like the little shopping areas. So they didn't really have like much in terms of like plants or whatever. So here, we're gonna completely go away from there. But for whatever reason, I like putting the bushes with the flowers like underneath the tree. Like as if the tree was growing out of the bush. I think it looks nice to me. I don't know if other people like it, but that's my own personal preference. I'm sorry, I will do it with like every single tree I do. So, and I decided to put in a water feature to help like spruce it up, make it a little more interesting. Because I originally wanted to put that as well, and I realized I didn't have a lot of space to do it, but I wanted to do it anyway, so it looks nice. I hope the lily pads keep the Sims from actually jumping in and stuff, but we'll find out. But here I'm finally decorating the top patio area, and I'm gonna put umbrellas here, as you can see. No, not that one. I'm using the ones from Snowy Escape, I believe. Yes, the ones from Snowy's Escape. And I'm just kind of making my own like little umbrella tables, because I didn't really like the tables that the EA already provided for us. So I think these look nicer, but I don't know if the Sims can actually sit there and eat there. I don't know. But it looks nice aesthetically, so it's not like that big of a deal, right? But I'm basically finishing up here and like trying to put up like decorations and stuff. I do put a DJ. It doesn't make any sense, but it's okay. It doesn't need to make sense. Don't worry. It's live entertainment. It's everywhere. Okay. Sure, we have like the little speakers everywhere, but it's not that big of a deal. Okay. Don't worry about it too much. Okay. Great. Okay. So we are finishing up like completely. I'm just putting up like this extra touches, like the dirt on the ground and then like a little seating area. But we're gonna go ahead and like jump into the game real quick and then show you like the finished product. Okay? Great. I hope you enjoy it. So let's go on in. Okay, so I built it in Newcrest in this lot right here. It's 30 by 30 at the and it has the lot traits, chef's kitchen, sunny aspect, and romantic aura. So let's go ahead and just go right in and see what the finished product looks like. Okay, now that we're here, this is how the front little area looks like. I added these after I finished recording it, so it's not really shown in the video, but I added like the chairs and the little temple thingy afterwards. And then underneath, I decided to use a little cat like mural thingies here because my nephew originally wanted it and it looked super cute, so I wanted to include it anyway. But where are my walls? Thank you. Okay, so you come in, you say hello to the host if there is one there currently, and then if it's a large wait, you would sit here, but it's fine because you don't have to sit here. We're gonna keep going forward. So first is the bar area. So I decided to put the bar at the front also because usually when people are waiting, they will either just wait there or they will go to the bar and get something to drink. Now, this gives the bartender something to do because the bartender can make money off the drinks. Ooh, that's pretty neat. I didn't see those before, but that's pretty neat. But yeah, this gives the bartender the chance to make tips and stuff, and I decided to put this here also because realistically there would be a waiter being able to come over and help the bartender out. So yeah, this is fine, and don't expect to steal because there is a camera watching. I'm still not fond of that, but it doesn't look bad at the same time, so I'm gonna ignore it. So they come down here, people can see the kitchen staff if they're cooking or whatever, so good luck to the kitchen staff, because I know some of the kitchen staff that I worked with, they kind of just sat around like in jeans and stuff. Yeah, it wasn't really that professional, but it's fine. They weren't really seen most of the time. They actually weren't seen at all, except for when they came out to go to use the restroom. But you know what? It's fine. So they come in through here. Ah, that's clipping that little bit right there, but it's fine. So they come into this nice little dining area, and I actually really like how the dining area turned out. But it looks really nice. I did change the lighting, so there's a lot more wall scones now. I think that's a little more realistic to have, especially when there's no ceiling above them. So they're kind of forced to have like the wall scones around. And then I put little candles on the table. I think it looks super pretty or cute. It's just really nice to have. So we're gonna just continue forward. Okay, this is going a little too slow, so we're gonna move on. When did I do that? That looks hideous, actually. But I put these curtains here apparently, and I actually am not a fan of it anymore. It probably looked nice when I originally put it, but not right now. And then for this restroom, I decided to give them 2 mirrors because I had to move these because I wasn't sure if they were blocking the door. So I moved it over here. So now they have like the little window mirror for their face and whatever. And then here they could like check their appearance, make sure they look nice, you know? So yeah, isn't that lovely? So we go up here. Oh, I removed the DJ booth? I guess I didn't like the DJ booth. They could just dance to the music up here. That's totally fine. But I do like this area. I really love these umbrellas. I don't know what they're used for, to be honest. But ooh, I am not a fan of that white anymore. It probably could have been a different color. But it's fine. We're fine. Anyway, that is the Highwind restaurant. Look at that. Actually, we're gonna ignore this because that's the stairs. I can't really fix that. But look at that. I think it looks nice. It could even be turned into a house if you like renovated it completely. But it's a nice building. Look at that. I would come here to eat. It looks pretty neat. I hope it's inexpensive too. But anyway, if you want to download this build for yourself, I do have it out on the gallery. Let me show you. It is under the name Tamwyn. That's TAMWYNN. Okay, the gallery is like not really working well. But if you do want to download this restaurant, please do note that I did use a lot of packs in this. So if you don't have every single pack like I almost do, not everything is probably going to show up, to be fair. But if you do want to download this, make sure you also have bb.move objects on. This will make sure that items don't like get placed awkwardly or anything. Because I did do a lot of moving of objects. But anyway, that is it for me. I hope you enjoyed this video. I don't really do a lot of speed builds, so if you want to see more speed builds by me, go ahead and comment down below and let me know if you enjoyed this video. If you like this video and you want to see more by me, go ahead and subscribe to my channel down below. If you have any suggestions on what kind of builds you would like to see me build, go ahead and also let me know in the comments down below. If you want to be notified on when a video comes out, I do have a Twitter that you can follow that I update whenever a video comes out on that day. Usually it's Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, but there can be some days where I don't upload at all, and that's usually when I'm not really feeling it at the time. So I really do apologize for that. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you're also having a very wonderful day. My name is Cloud, and I'll see you in the next video of whatever I make. Peace.